Bill O'Reilly. He's still whining about his taxes, and he's now attempting to rewrite history to help his cause. Here's a dandy for you. O'Reilly wants President Obama to follow President Kennedy's example by lowering taxes for the mega wealthy.
But in 1962, President Kennedy proposed a big tax cut for the rich in order to stimulate the economy and encourage investment. And the rates have been moderating ever since.
O'Reilly's point is misleading. Economic conditions were much different back then. There was little debt because President Eisenhower kept taxes high. You see, Republicans used to approach this whole tax thing much differently. So when Kennedy came along, he lowered the top marginal tax from 91% to 65%. Today, the top marginal rate is at a historic low of 35%. The Warren Buffett rule would raise the top rate to Clinton-era levels. It would also probably raise capital gains taxes. That's taxes on investment income. In one of his rants last week, O'Reilly brought up his opposition to raising capital gains taxes.
Now you want to up the ante on my winnings, but you don't say how much because the stock market will go nuts if you do. With all due respect, the tax-to-rich deal is bogus.
Turns out O'Reilly already negotiated a hike in his capital gains taxes 3 years ago with a guy named Barack Obama.
Listen, if you raise the cap gains tax, that's going to inhibit investment. I won't buy as many stocks, and many, many more people won't.
If we went up to a prohibitive rate, you're right. But look,
30% on it. That's Vegas, man. I'm not going with those odds. 15, I'll pay.
Let's say we go up to 20. I've talked.
20 is okay. Not 25.
Okay. Well, you and I agree.
All right.
Bill O'Reilly was willing to pay 5% more on his capital gains taxes in 2008. Now he's crying about having to pay his fair share. I thought you were in a no-spin zone. Joining me now, Eric Boehlert, senior fellow Media Matters. That clip of him agreeing to a tax increase doesn't look good for old Bill O'Reilly, does it?
Yeah, no, last week he was saying if Obama raises taxes, he was going to quit his show, which created this outpouring of goodwill among liberals everywhere. We were hoping it would be a win-win. And then this week he's saying Kennedy, or more recently saying, let's do what Kennedy did. Well, he moved it from 90 to 60. How is that going to help him when the current rate's 35%?
So we got a flip by the big guy, huh?
He's got flips all over the place. I mean, the idea that we're having, Bill O'Reilly is sort of the face of the public tax debate in the United States. He's representing conservatives. He's sort of the media elite who makes $10 million a year. He's going to represent the common man. It's kind of comical.
Is he and that network on a mission to sell America that a tax increase for the wealthiest would be a terrible idea?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they worship at the altar of big business. And it's beyond that. They worship at the altar of millionaires now. I mean, it's not the old conservative philosophy of big business. What's good for GM is good for Main Street. They're beyond that. It's much more radical now.
Roger Ailes admitted to Newsweek in a quote, he says, every other network has given all their shows to liberals. We are the balance.
Right.
So Fox News has gone from fair and balanced to we are the balance. What does that mean?
That means he's spinning. He's saying, we're now part of the mainstream. I mean, if Fox News embracing the birther movement, which it did this year, is mainstream, then I guess they're viewing things from the John Birch Society. He's trying to spin it, saying, we're sort of pulling back. We're going to be more mainstream now. They are as radical and as Obama-hating as ever.
And O'Reilly said that he'd pack it in if the taxes go up.
That's right.
Is this showmanship, or is he really thinking about getting out of it?
Well, we can only hope.
Because the Bush tax cuts are going to expire.
That's right.
At the end of 2012. So will O'Reilly be on the air in 2013? He'll be hit with that.
Well, he'll just flip-flop. He's never going to walk away. But again, the idea if his taxes went up, he'd quit. I mean, that's fantastic.
So on one hand, he used to be for it, but now he's against it.
That's right.
I wonder what happened to him. Anything happened that might have changed his position on that?
Just doing the usual spin, I think.
All right. Eric Boehlert, Media Matters. Good to have you with us tonight. That's the Ed Show. I'm Ed Schultz. Hardball with Chris Matthews is next. We'll see you tomorrow night.